quickly. Does the Lambeer. Stolen by Bird and the cut to DJ. Yeah! Pulls up three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good. Wins the game at the buzzer. Looks at his Chris again. A slick screen. Posing on the bench. Oh! LeBron James with no regard for human life.
Good evening, and grand evening to everybody. It's your boy, Coach Lee. Welcome to the None But Basketball Show. It is hump day, and my man, Two, will let you know exactly what you need to do on a hump day. Well, man, before we get started, let's get the crew up in here right off the bat. Speaking of my man, Two, y'all know him as something else, but we going to call him Meta Wide.
Meta Wide in the building, you know what I'm saying? Spit it out. You know, it's hump day. We get it in on a Wednesday when we talk basketball here before we get into the hump session. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody tuning in, man. Monday through Sunday. You know, Sunday through Monday. You know, 7 days a week. You know, 24 hours to come. But we here tonight to chat basketball. And hope you guys enjoy. Like, share, and subscribe. We are on YouTube right now. We on Facebook, Twitch, and everywhere else you can catch podcasts. Tune in. But before we started off, three-man weave it. Usually goes to the guy in the middle for a layup, or you can dish it right. That's what I'm going to go tonight with my guy, Chili Will. But guess what? He's going to miss the layup. You know what I'm saying? Got to talk some shit in here. Trying to add to the stream, man. Sorry. My button's frozen right now. Oh, he got him in.
I used to do the layup. I used to throw the hand by name with the layup. Everybody know that.
Nah, you didn't do him like that.
I'm pretty sure I got a newspaper clipping with me doing it. They got me.
You got to share that.
Yeah, I might do that. But yeah, man, it's the parlay. Talk about all things on the parquet. We here to do it.
How y'all doing today, man?
Stole your line. Gotcha. What up, Jake? You bum. Get on the show, bro.
Wait a minute, I'm lost.
What happened?
There's a Jake and a Jacob. One's a brother, right? Are they both Jake?
Both Jake.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, look, he's maximizing our views. I appreciate that.
Hey, I ain't tripping.
I'm looking forward to him arguing with himself.
He gonna deliver. He like challenge accepted. Well, man, I'm glad to see you young men today, man.
Glad to see you too, man. Glad to see y'all every time we on, man. You know, glad to have y'all in my life and continue to make great poetry here. You know what we're doing.
Absolutely.
And if you're missing out, man, I feel bad for you.
That's on y'all, man. Y'all fucking up.
Because y'all gonna stop missing out, and we gonna be the reason why. So, let I'm saying, so you let that run in your ears, man. But everybody that comes in, feel free to comment, you know, give your input on our fabulous topics tonight. You know, NBA offseason, it's never no offseason in sports. You know, though you take some time off, it's always chit-chat and there's always things to discuss, man.
Jacob.
YouTube, yes, sir, man. We got to get our YouTubes up too, man. So, you know, something hopefully be spiced up, you know, as the season goes, maybe, you know, to throw some subscribers out there.
But we got 7 viewers. Who's in here? Who's hiding in here?
Who's hiding in here? Who's not talking in here? Everybody got to chat, man.
Now we up to 8. Y'all hiding. Don't be hiding.
Don't be hiding over here.
Don't be shy. Ain't nothing but hiding.
Definitely. There's no hiding in sports or any sport. You know, it's a great segue for our first segment, actually. You know what I'm saying? To hide or not to hide, that is the question. You know, some people in life, you know, are told not to hit the send button when you write stuff. That person that writes it may agree with what he's saying and may want to put it up. So I'm never mad at anybody in that regard. If I'm mad at something, it's because I don't agree with it and we can chit-chat all day. That's kind of the norm is. But Noah Lyles had a different intake on it, and he decided he was not going to hide. As the track and field superstar sparked a bit of a debate on social media during the weekend, and it's claimed that NBA champions are underdeserving of the world champion title. 3 gold medals in the track and field world championships last week. pulled the victories in both the 100-meter and 200-meter. At a news conference, he was asked, in part by Drawing, those champions like himself in other leagues, such as the NBA, and responded to the interviewer like this. He said, the things that hurt me is the most that I had to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. Lyles said, world champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong, I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We are almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on the flag to show what they're representing. There ain't no flags in the NBA. You're going to hear him say something. You're going to hear him chit-chatter, what I said, man, but let's hear it.
The thing that hurts me the most is that I have to watch the NBA Finals, and they have world champion on their head. World champion of what? The United States? Don't get me wrong. I love the U.S. at times, but that ain't the world. That is not the world. We are the world. We have almost every country out here fighting, thriving, putting on their flag to show that they are represented. There ain't no flags in the NBA.
Flags in the NBA. Well, there's a USA one and a Canada one, I believe, in most arenas.
It's just fun. I'm glad he did this.
Me too.
We're gonna get pulled.
Shout out to you, Paul. We see you hanging out with us.
Wizzo. You need to know nothing about basketball, man. Support is free. Throwing a comment in the comments is free. You just did that, man. You did us the service, man. Shout out to you, bro. Keep doing your thing, man. Saying he's on the team. So catch my man out with his fabulous Hawk as his fabulous self, man. And glad that you over here on the wave.
Appreciate you.
Absolutely. We love it.
So how y'all feeling about those comments?
All right, so I'd have liked it better if he was a little less aggressive with it. But hey, I respect the man. Like, far be it for me to tell somebody to be less aggressive about a take. So
being soft tonight.
We appreciate your honesty.
I know what I do and how I do it, so I understand that part. What I say is this: is like he does a disservice kind of to the players who actually also go and play overseas and or play in the FIBA World Cup and stuff like that. Look, let's get to the obvious. We got the best league in the world. Everybody comes to this league for a reason.
This is the benchmark.
Right. Now, he would understand, and I guarantee, he's track and field, right?
Yep.
I guarantee if there was all just American track and field league specifically, and people from all over the world still came to that league, and he won it all, he would have no problem calling himself a world champion. I promise you.
Twitch in the building.
Oh, we got Twitch in the Twitch in the building.
My guy's a moron, and it makes me sad. He is the embodiment of a crab in a bucket stereotype that affects our community. The best player in the world playing in the NBA, just as in the Olympics. Shout out to Bobby G on
strong take. It's a strong, that's aggressive. More aggression.
More aggression. Definitely more aggression. Absolutely.
Look, he's entitled to his opinion, bro. He is. I give him that. What I'll also say is that does he have the same problem if we didn't do it this year, but if the women win the World Cup, like the American World Cup, and they get crowned the world champions, except we know for sure there's whole countries whose women don't get the right to practice in facilities or play on a level that the American women are playing on, that they don't even get a right to actually play the sport. Will he feel the same way in that situation? Why? Because they still play other countries? Yeah, but there's whole countries that aren't allowed. So does that make it less of an accomplishment? Does it make it not the world champions because not everybody's participating? So I think he needs to reevaluate his stance a little bit. But look, if you want to stand on it, I respect it. Stand on it.
Real talk, real talk, real talk, real talk. Hey, when I seen the comments, I said, hey, this is kind of what the world is now. Real talk. This is what the world is now. So like Will said, and I'm gonna say it right now, he's voiced to his opinion, and he's to stand on that. Absolutely. You don't want no apologies or nothing. I don't want no we don't want no apologies in sports. You know, we don't want no Ryan Clarks. We don't want that. But what I think everybody's missing in this
stray for no reason.
He's a track and field guy. Oh, what's we going over here in the comments?
Now I'm laughing because Ryan Clark just caught a stray in the back of his head.
Caught a stray in the back of his head. Real talk. So in regards to this situation, I think what everybody's missing is that he feels entitled to be a champion as well, a world champion in track and field, because he's running a sport that he's dominated. The same way, like you mentioned, ladies, when they win the championship, they celebrate their championship. We're the champions. No other championship matters at that point to anybody who doesn't play that sport. So when he's going and Ron, then you have other people in the world, you know, like, oh, this and that. No, he's cherishing his moment, especially in track and field where it changes like the wind. He may not be the fastest guy at the next race. So he's going to enjoy himself through the win, 3 gold medals in a week span, in a day span. So I kind of feel him in a sense, but where I kind of was like, you know, whoa, it's like, you know damn well you're watching the NBA or something you're watching. This is not a track and field side, and if you are, I'm sorry about that. But you see what's on the television with the NFL, NBA, anything. You know what I'm saying? And you mentioned the NBA for a reason. We all know why, because everybody's eyes is glued to the league. So that's just what it is. I'm not mad at you, brother. I'm not mad at you for your stance. I agree with what you're saying. You're a world champion, bro. We should respect that. If you pay attention to it, we will respect it. We respect you. Shout out to you.
Here's the thing, though. Here's another thing. And you're right about everything you just said, 100%. You know what else he did wrong here? I did not know he just won three medals. I did not know that. You want to know why? Because he overshadowed it with this bullshit. Now this is all we talking about.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My man just did work, and nobody knows. Maybe that's why he's mad, though.
And that's why I love this show right here, because
why he's mad.
We this whole turn a reason that you may have heard on some stations, but at the same time, this is what we go into and talk about. Yeah. This guy right here was not 100% wrong, as people are saying. There may be some twisted turns that you can agree on in some sense if you really pay attention to what's going on in the world. But that's just how much people are under a rock. So come here to STWF, man, and we'll enlighten you if you ain't enlightened. You know what I'm saying? For new fans and new people out there, people that have been watching, man. This is right here.
Another problem that I had with this is it's almost like the way Ryan Clark just caught a stray. The NBA caught a stray. Because, like, last time I checked, the last Olympics, every event where the NBA, where the NBA players weren't playing, every event where they weren't playing the game, they were at those events the loudest, like wilding out. Like remember when Braun and everybody else. Remember when Braun was? They were support. Yep. They were out there during curling, going nuts during curling, bro. Like they were supporting every other American athlete every time for every event. So I don't understand why he would take a shot at a bunch of guys who have shown that they're all about support.
I just think I think he threw that shot out there for the obvious, you know what I'm saying, with the NBA, you know what I'm saying, how they produce their product and who their product goes to. And no matter if it's regular season or playoffs where it's most important, you know, you're talking about world champion, you know what I'm saying? And the fact that you're paying attention to that, you know, you feel a certain way, you know, but like you said, what got him to that part of that interview? What was crazy and bad down to the media for even having him in that situation. I'm not blaming him for what he said, but at the same time, cherish his win. Cherish his win, and he needs to cherish his win as well, because obviously on that day you won those. But I can understand in this world why he did what he did, because at the end of the day, his 3 medals are just going to be. They're not going to be like Shakai Richardson You know, when she's all on the air, she's winning. She's back up. You know what I'm saying? And though she was up, you know, the marijuana scandal just, you know, had the world tweaking, you know, at her abilities. You know, this guy has an ability. My thing and advice to you is just keep it up. Keep winning. Because now you got your name in the media now. Now they're going to have to follow you and see what you do now. So now the light's on you now to go out there and produce and win now. And that's the way the world is nowadays. You got to kind of put yourself out there in some sort of way. So this is not bad. And how he brought it out, it's not bad what he said.
This is genius. You just hit the nail on the head. Everybody's paying attention to him now. Then we got some Olympic Games coming up next summer.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to be watching him. I'm going to say he's playing heel on this one because it seemed like he said it, but then he heard the reaction from the crowd. Then he dug in with 2 feet.
Yeah.
And he kind of like leaned in and did the Hulk Hogan, like, yeah.
Real talk.
That's the second
I'm gonna
Hogan
say
reference.
that's genius, man.
How to
I wouldn't even be surprised. And then see now, and then you also got the NBA players are starting to clap back. Of course, Mr. Burner himself had something to say.
I actually like what he said, though. I thought it was great.
Shout
Absolutely.
out. So, NBA
He's like,
players,
somebody help this young man.
couple NBA PJ Tucker said, I can't make this shit up. You know, Kendrick Perkins wrote, put his brain in a bird, and the bird will start flying backwards.
Kendrick, what are you doing?
He's on Kendrick.
Every time, never lets us down.
Kevin Durant has some words, and a lot of players, you know what I'm saying, reacted to that. But like at the end of the day, those are basketball players that absolutely should defend their brand when it's talked about. Absolutely. So shout out to them guys. You may hate them.
That part.
Rick, shut the fuck up. Put a Paul, Ray, and the KG by your side, and you'll start flying forward, and then you don't have them no more. You start flying backwards.
What up, Unc? What up, Unc in the building?
What's going on? Unc in the building. He's 100% wrong about it. He says, hey, think about it. And the next topic is literally about a non-American NBA player. Yep. NBA non-LeBron has literally played against more foreign camp than he has ran against.
Yeah. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Look, they come here. They all come here for a reason. And also, I saw a point that I think a friend of not of the show, but of the chat room, or I think we all know him, Alex Vilma. Shout out to Alex.
Shout out to Alex.
Yeah, shout out to Alex.
With the DNA podcast. You know, catch my man.
Oh, that's where Alex is at? DNA podcast?
I believe so. Yeah.
I didn't even know that. He got advertised better because I should go see that.
Yeah. He tries to have sometimes. You see it, okay?
Bet. So what he was saying is a point that he made was that he said any team, you pick any one team, not a country team, but any one team from any one of the other leagues in the world. He's like, they're not gonna beat the Nuggets. He said they're not gonna beat them in a series. He said, so what do we talk about?
I think yeah. And at the end of the day, we can all day, but I think what he's describing and talking about is just in general, like playing another sport, like, and we know these sports don't get the respect. You know, gratitude, maybe the views, or maybe the watches that they don't need. But, you know, you're taking a jab at one of the biggest empires in the world. So at the end of the day, you took that shot, you know, and people that play track and field laughed at it. You know
he shot his shot, man. And I'm sure the track and field folks are like, word. I'm glad he said it. I was thinking.
Yeah. Shakira Richardson came out and said that she backed him on it.
Well,
Shakari got to take the bullet, man.
Shakari backs drama. Shakari backs drama, man. Like,
my apologies, I mispronounced the name.
Yeah. Shakari, she backs drama. She all about that smoke.
I got a question though. So, FIBA is going on right now, right?
Shout out to FIBA.
Yeah, and we're mid, but.
And how is Team USA doing right now?
With our flunkies? Not with our flunkies.
Beating the brakes off teams.
Yeah,
they looking good. It'll be good to see certain guys, you know, play up to what they're supposed to, you know, coming up in the elimination rounds. But so far, you know, stellar play from guys like Anthony Edwards, Austin Reeves, Tyler Halliburton, Jaren Jackson's over there playing extremely well. Need guys like Brandon Ingram who's saying that he's not really, you know, and a lot of people are like this, you know, within the system and the way it runs, you know. So, you know, they got some guys. I mean, their bracket was a little easy, you know. Best team they played was Greece, and Greece without Greek Freak was number 9 still. So at the same time,
and they beat them by 22.
And one more funny thing to add to this. Last thing I saw, this just had me laughing because I saw this video in the middle of all this shit going on with Noah and everything. But I saw a video of one what's it, Rondé Hollis Jefferson. Y'all remember him?
Mm-hmm. I remember him.
Ain't been in the league since 2001 on a 10 game contract. I'm pretty sure he was last time he was in the league. Ain't been in the league since 2001. Now I don't know the level of the league he's in, but he over in a different league. Got the hair shaved down, bald, number 24 on, out there running around looking like Kobe, killing dudes.
In the FIBA. In the FIBA. He's playing for Jordan in the FIBA.
Killing dudes. And he can't make a roster.
Play here in how long?
He can't 3 years, 2-3 years.
So he and that's just and that's what it brings, you know what I'm saying? And like you said, at the end of the day, people want to play.
Perspective.
For Noah, for the people that's taking his comments into, you know, the Americans, you know, in the leagues, you know, people want to play over here, you know, that's the truth. And we just said it right there. It's the truth at the end of the day. All these guys want to compete, you know, now at the professional level in the NBA nowadays. You know what I'm saying? The world's changed. So at the same time, this guy is blessed, you know, as he wish he was. Mm-hmm. You know, it is what it is in the track and field, babe. You know, maybe they need to build their brand up, man. You know, you got some great Americans that, you know, are blossoming right now. You know, and if you pay attention to track and field, it's been stars throughout the years. You know, but in terms of just, you know, how your sport is compared to other sports, you know, it doesn't get that tick. But as long as you're a world champion, bro, you ain't nothing to worry about.
I think you're right. I think you're right, Coach. I think he was poking the bear, getting some attention for the sport, because otherwise he'd been harboring this for how many months since the Nuggets won? Like, come on, man. Like,
and it's out of nowhere.
Like, it's so left field, man. You know so what? Left field.
Part of it too could be, and I think you already hit on it. He just won 3 goals, but everybody's talking about the FIBA basketball instead of talking about track and field. So it makes sense why he feels some type of way.
I get it. I understand.
And the time where you feel like when these sports are not, I mean, the World Cup, man, just overtakes now, you know what I'm saying? Because of the talent that they bring there. And the international teams are bringing guys that are stars not only in the league, but stars for their teams. So, yeah, man, you know, it's always going to be overshadowed, whether it's football, basketball, hockey, baseball. Here in America, you know, they're going to have you. When will Saudi start a basketball league with no salary cap? It's going to start soon.
It's going to be
definitely
wild.
Gonna start soon.
It's going to be wild.
Man, actually, in soccer, this is off topic, but I'm hearing that a Saudi team is looking to play in like a Premier League, try to get a spot and buy in to play in the Premier League.
They're not gonna let you buy in, but if you build enough, I don't think you can buy in. But if
not buy in, but like kind of like
well, in a sense, they're gonna buy in because they're gonna buy all the players they can to build the team to get their ass in there. Also, I wonder if Noah's a little bit of animosity there or bitterness. I wonder if he was up for some endorsements, and those certain endorsements were like, "Have fun. You're not exactly marketable. We don't even see you. We talk about FIBA and you winning 3 golds." And I'm wondering if he got at that. You know, it could be anything. I'm speculating. That ain't from nowhere. That's just some speculation. But
something was the catalyst for him to pop.
Something pissed this man off, man. And I just want to know what it is. But until we find out, it created good content, man. So that's that, man. I appreciate that man. Let him do his thing.
Absolutely,
man. Roll out, man. Another basketball show as we roll in, man. Something that involved basketball with track and field. You made the news, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to you all around the world, man.
But he gonna be pissed though because he made a basketball show.
He made a basketball show.
That was the purpose of the thumbnail.
Like what? What the hell?
You big man. Said you big man.
Hey yo, Chris, man, get in shape for the USA games, man. Listen, I gotta get in shape to play pickup, man. Listen,
that's not a prayer; it's a miracle for me.
Yeah, listen.
You gonna play half court? Like play half court? I'm in.
Absolutely. I want to give a shout out to my guys. I want to give a shout out to my guy Tony, my guy Max, my guy Justin, guy Donnie. You know what I'm saying? My guy Jason, man, on a win yesterday at the YMCA, man, winning the championship. Want to give a shout out to my brothers.
Let's go.
Basketball show. So I want to give a shout out to my brothers. Also want to give a shout out to Burke's new head coach, Joe Chapman. You know what I'm saying? Want to give a shout out to him at the Burke School. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. Want to give a shout out, to the Bean. Personal, you know what I'm saying? We from Massachusetts, shout out to the Bean, man, in a hell of a summer, with all types of basketball leagues. The whole state of Massachusetts for all the basketball tournaments, leagues, and all the entertainment you provided, man, you know what I'm saying? Just, new fresh breath of air, you know what I'm saying? Every tournament's a different flow, Spiz is still the best in the Bean to me, but, you know what I'm saying? That's up for debate. We can have a show when we have guys come on and chat about it, but, shout out to the Bean, man, on another basketball show from your boys.
That's what's up.
You dig. Shout out to Brighton.
Yeah. Roll in, man. Hey, fellas. Around this time, you get discussions about extension talks. And, people's trying to pump up their contracts before the regular season starts. There's guys that are on teams that, could hit the road early than expected or speculate that they may want to. There's guys that you may never think that will ever leave. And then they end up doing it. And it all starts with chit chatter. And this next topic we're going to discuss, and that's one Giannis Antetokounmpo. And we know he got a big contract coming. It's going to be nice. And I don't even know what word to say. It's going to be like a big book. I don't want to say what I wanted to say because we're not going to go into a Cam moment. But he's eligible for a 3-year deal worth $173 million. However, not many expect the two-time MVP to sign the deal, and understandably so, as he can wait to earn more money over years down the line. In an interview with the New York Times, he factored in his decision-making into a new deal. Made it clear that he's unlikely to sign the 3-year contract extension with the Bucks, says it would make more sense to wait. Now, we know Milwaukee, I don't believe they've done anything this offseason to produce NBA Finals worthy team. Maybe a respectable team in the Eastern Conference, but we know how stars run in the league nowadays. And we know at some point that they're going to demand to try to win another title in Giannis' case or be with a better team. It just happens. We've seen Damian Lillard this season after all these years, it's finally going to break you. Has it broke Giannis? Has the team around him in the last few years, after that championship run, and I said this a couple years ago too, I said the media is going to start to get him. It gets everybody. Little by little. So, obviously, I think it's smart that he doesn't sign right now. But we want to talk about the long-term effects of this, potentially, down the line. So I'll let you guys have the floor.
I think he's going to sign it, but I think it's going to be more of like a sign and trade. I'm looking at I saw that Brook Lopez re-upped again. His contract is over in 2 years. Drew Holiday's contract is up in 2 years. Chris Middleton, his contract is up in 3 years.
Right.
So around about that time, I don't know if he's going to be in position because he's going to be like, 31 at that time. I don't think he's going to want to be in a rebuild position at that point. So, yeah, I see him signing it, but I see it like being like a sign and trade type of thing and then recouping a crap load of picks back for him.
And if they do that, he's going to have to spend a year there under that new contract because you can't sign and trade them supermaxes.
That's right. I forgot about that. You're right.
Which means I don't think he's going to sign at all. I think they time is up. I think they had ample time and opportunity to put guys around him, and instead they re-signed Chris Middleton. Nothing against Chris, and maybe there wasn't a better option out there at the time, but I just don't know if they got him enough. They should have went all in at some other point and tried to get Dame. I think it's too late for the Dame thing to work. I just don't know who's out there and available right now that could turn it around and make them the favorites in the East. The only thing he has in his favor is that, or the Bucks have in their favor, is that the other team or another team that's fighting for that number one spot in the East is broken down ass Philly, who can't seem to get their shit right either.
And the B's gonna get ready to bounce up out of there here soon.
He gonna leave.
Right.
Fuck around, put them on the same team. It's a nightmare. But
it's definitely difficult, man. Definitely difficult in this state because, like you said, who can you put over there? First, I want to say this: who wants to play in Milwaukee? No disrespect to Giannis at all.
Unfortunately, that is the case.
We know where his game is. Who wants to play in Milwaukee though? That's the question. It's not even about who doesn't want to play with Giannis. Who does? You know what I'm saying? But it's like, damn, like you
quality
said,
of life.
Do you want to play with him enough to live in Milwaukee?
Right. Dame Dash noted this week that Milwaukee's a fire city. You know what I'm saying? Hey, just take Dame Dash's advice. But real talk, you sign all these guys and you kind of Dame it. You know what I'm saying? What they did to Dame in Portland. Like, we're gonna sign these guys because these are guys that obviously want to stay here. We don't want to be a lottery team. We know these guys can be competitive for us. We're still in the Eastern Conference where we still could be competitive. But I think Giannis sees what we all been seeing, the playoff series. And that's what it comes down to. These guys may be regular season bound all day. You can get 40, 50 wins every year with this roster constructed. You know what I'm saying? You have Giannis on the court. He's guaranteed 35 off the strength. Maybe 40 by himself. But in the playoffs, when the game slows down, these guys are broken down. You know what I'm saying? The 76ers, they're broken down. The Bucks, they're broken down. You're creeping with the Celtics, and the Celtics got too many goods for Giannis to be going 7 games with them. Though he can go 7, but your whole team got to be there. And that's where I got a problem too, the injuries and the riddleness of that case for the Bucks. It hasn't been good the last few years, even with Giannis in his case, with injuries. So, yeah, man, I can see the writing on the wall, man. Slowly, because Giannis is going to give him that, because he still wants to keep himself as a name in the likings. But eventually, like, it happens to everybody, man.
Hey, yo, Milwaukee, man, we'll give you everybody but Tatum. Send them over here.
Yes, sir. What in the hell are you going to do in Wisconsin? Eat cheese? Hey, you can eat cheese, get cheese. I mean, ask Aaron Rodgers, man. He spent a long time there.
The thing is, what are you going to do in Milwaukee? Except maybe win a championship. Because if you're good enough, you can go there and win one with him. But it's going to be tough. Other thing I'll say is this. Let that Suns situation fizzle out and look bad and embarrassing. Any one of them guys will be running towards Milwaukee after that.
Mm-hmm.
You can hang out with Cuckoo Cal.
Does it hurt? Does it hurt that you almost for sure had to Google that?
Oh no, not at all. Not at all. I actually wanted to probably one of the 8 people that bought the CD.
That's unfortunate.
You can smoke shrooms in Wisconsin. I forgot about Rodgers. Yeah, man, you smoke shrooms, go into crazy, and basically tell the team that you're crazy now, and you're thinking different things, so now you don't want to be there. You know what I'm saying? You could do that, Giannis. Or you could just respectfully tell them, like, your time is over. You know, I'm a superstar still, and you still should love me. But people go through this all the time, B. What they say, you know, it's business. Nothing personal.
Whether there's smoke, there's fire. And this is the second time in back-to-back all seasons that this story has come up. So if it's not him putting it out there, it's just people putting it out there.
Right. And they want their stars. They want their guys. They want the guys to win. Giannis, if you're still, like, in people's minds as still winning the championship, they're going to want you to do things like go to another team. You know, go seek it out. You know, it's better for what the league wants to push. It's better for all that, you know. And at the end of the day, Milwaukee drafted you. That's what they got. They got a drafted Giannis that paid the services of everything he could do. Don't turn this into a situation where you become the bad guy. Be real and use real. And you said that and you spit that out, not in the state of, I'm not going to sign the extension, but you're not throwing it out there that you are. And you're not throwing any smoke out there. You know what I'm saying? And he's been like that. He's been an upfront person, real, rather than been funny, you know, serious, and all that. You know, so I just hope he keeps that stature. You know what I'm saying? And
so, quick question: if he was to just walk on them, what are some places you think would be great for him? Because I know a certain place with a lone star that might be real perfect for him.
I know where it needs to be. A guy like that needs to be in New York.
Nah, New York got nothing around him. It'll be annoying. I want to see him go to Dallas. That'll be fun for him.
Dallas will be fun too. Definitely.
Should have been here in the first place.
Now you can run the international tandem. Like I can see him running the international tandem, but I just see him going to New York for the international and the dough and all that. Let's see if New York can fill their team up. I mean, let's see if this season New York can be better than they was last year. And that's the thing right there. And then that's where it starts. You know what I'm saying? Let's see if the development of Jalen Brunson, can go on. Let's see what can happen. Because the Empire over there, like him, you had Gizmo there, picture Giannis there. So that's what I'm saying.
I just don't think it's enough, yeah. Like if he's gonna leave Milwaukee, the place that drafted him and he grew and he became what he became, if he's gonna leave all that, he ain't gonna leave it to go play with Julius Randle.
I'm being real. As much as he loves basketball, as much as he loves the game, he's already established himself as a top guy in this league.
Mm-hmm.
And we know the story about him and his family growing up and all that.
So now it's all about this.
He has that, but he can get another one. He can get another one if he really didn't want
legacy right now.
And he can go legacy right now and wealth for his family. And if he went to New York, if he went to New York, he would get all that. Maybe not a championship. May not get a championship, but he'll get all that. He'll get all that.
He's already international star. I think the money, the extra money, far be it for me to say the extra money would be negligible. Like he'll get a few more endorsements in New York, but in general, he gonna make more by winning more. That's what he really gonna make.
That'd be dope. Giannis to Miami with Jimmy buckets, that'd be crazy because you see those two guys on the court against each other. They're real competitive against each other. Yeah. That can mix to be very good. But the thing is, you got Jimmy and age. That's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen no time soon. So
yeah.
Unless, Miami's like, man, we can't get Dame. We can talk to Milwaukee. Milwaukee might want Tyler Hero. You know what I'm saying? Milwaukee may want one of our guys that we're going to produce this year, because that's what we do. We produce guys that people don't know.
Yeah.
They might want Bam. No,
Jimmy's
we're not
34 right now.
We're not going to give no Bam. But, if they want Bam, you might talk about it too because it is Giannis we're talking about. So at the same time, it could happen, but I don't think it will happen anytime soon at that time.
Milwaukee going to be like, we want Bam, we want Hero, we want the next 4 first-round picks. And they're going to be like, click.
We want Eric Spoelstra. Hold on, we want Eric Spoelstra.
Spoelstra going to hang up on him. Click.
Real talk, man.
Yeah, Spoelstra's a lifer down there in Miami.
Yeah. And the minute that Riley's out, and Spoelstra don't want to coach, he gonna move into Riley's spot as a GM.
Absolutely.
That man gonna be there forever.
So Giannis, man, and all this year is gonna be pretty interesting. Again, you keep your eyes on the league, and you keep your eyes on him. This guy has done a lot, man, since 2013. Being drafted, and
monster. Got a ring, MVPs. He's the real deal, man. But I think he's going to get tired, man. He going to want to play for more rings now because that's the only thing left for him, really. The only thing left for him is just to keep winning rings. That's it. What else can he do in terms of the league? Except he's going to keep putting up the numbers. That's obvious.
Right.
The numbers going to be there. He's always going to be like one of the best fantasy numbers guys in the league. But he want rings, and he's getting older. He only got one, and I know only is a big word for some guys like Barkley and Ewing and Iverson, but like it he's already out of that combo. He got one. Now he's in the other combo, and he's chasing guys like Tim Duncan and them. That's who you want to chase down. So
yes,
he gotta win.
You want some ring, man? I just got a ring from somebody. It's our sponsors, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to go into a break real quick.
Do it.
So get your Jerry juice, as I always say. You know what I'm saying? Football season's coming up, but this is nothing but basketball show. Yeah. We always got something fire in the commercial thread, so stay tuned. We'll be back in about 15-20.
Hey guys, it's your girl Tamara Moore, former WNBA guard and current head coach at Masabi Range College. I want to give a big shout out to STWF Media, the big brand, for showing love and always being about those good sports. Make sure you guys show them love. You and your community can join them every week to talk about sports. Shouts out to them and make sure you check them out.
Welcome back to the Number Basketball Show. You've been hanging out with your boys. The first two segments went fire as always. We talked a little bit about what's a world champion from Noah Lyles. We talked about Giannis and his contract extension. Now, next we got one of our most favorite parts of any show that we do, because we do have the list master on here with us as always. My man Will love his list. So, the floor is yours, my brother.
Yes, sir. Floor is mine. Floor is ours. You know what I'm saying? But I'll be doing most of the relaying. You know, this hit segment. You know, and my guys will be maybe chiming in, but just paying attention to this list, man, because I said a few years ago, man. I said, hey, this is gonna be a world now where the bigs start getting noticed again. I feel. It may not go back to a big oriented game. But there's guys right now like AD, Joel Embiid, Jokic, world champion, that are putting in work. And I like the promise of a lot of these young guys. So segment tonight, ranking NBA bigs under 25 with the highest ceiling. And there's 10 on this list, so we're gonna go down to 10. And should be interesting. There's a lot of guys that are likable on this list, and looking to see what they can become. First on the list, number 10, and that's Nick Claxton. Defensively, he's already there, the Brooklyn Net. Great value guy. He doubled as both a paint protector and a switchable stopper. But trying to get him on the offensive side, man, it's going to be a challenge, but I feel like he's up to the task, man. Just keep on shining, keep on producing. When guys are usually defensive oriented, it's kind of like they stand in mode. The way the game works now, obviously, you got to put some type of basketballs in the hoop. But I like the way he protects the rim. I like the way, that he defensively changes games, But
he's also a bucket inside, like for alley-oops and shit like that. Like, he gets putbacks. He's just a workhorse down there, a great athlete. I think he's going to do a lot of big things, like moving forward. Honestly, he basically is Robert Williams, but healthy.
Yes, 70.5% this past season as a shot. So he definitely got the low post game in there, man. The way the game is, you may not see another, back to the post guy and dominating the dunks and stuff like that. But I definitely see more touches for him this season potentially, and growing the offense, grow his offensive game, even to the system that you would like. So shout out to the young fella continuing to grow, man. Brooklyn, made a splash last year at the trade deadline, trading Kyrie and KD, some young assets, some new young players, Mikal Bridges, you got the young man Johnson over there. You got a little nucleus over there, so Claxton should add to that.
I'm fascinated to see that team play this year.
Absolutely. Definitely. Number 9 on the list, Onyeka from Atlanta, the Atlanta Hawk. Playing behind Clint Capella, but made some strides this season. Just 28 starts, averaged 19.3 minutes over his 3 seasons. But he could be on a slow and steady track to stardom. And it could start this season as, a few bucks on the trade block or in trade rumors. So open shine for young guys like him and the rest of those young cats down there. But even in limited action, he has flash talent for both ends. Undersized for the center spot at 6'8", but he's already a top shelf shot blocker with a 2.1 block percentage per 36 minutes, but his quickness and versatility may be his best defensive weapon.
Man's not even starting. How he's ahead of Claxton? I'm mad.
I think he's not ahead of Claxton because
he is ahead of him. He shouldn't be.
No. I think he is ahead of him because I feel like in a way Atlanta, they utilize their big men compared to the Nets. I feel. I just feel that way.
Several times though. during the
You know what
trade
I'm saying?
deadline, during the offseason. His days are numbered there. I think that
Shit
just
is not working.
And that's true, coach. Days a number for a lot
Right.
of Hawks, so he gets that in round. So offense, like Claxton's a question. You know, Claxton he definitely can shoot from close, and that's dope too. But yeah, he needs to work on the offense. And
Hey, you said it yourself, Chris. You were the one who just look. And he told me to hush when two comments up. You just said Claxton should be number 8. You agree with me? Shut up.
right, exactly. Chris, you better cut it out. Number 8 on the list. And this is a guy I feel like that stock's just gonna keep rising, man.
Yeah.
And I hope Ime Udoka turns him into a beast that the Celtics never had. And that's Alfred Sengun from the Houston Rockets. Throwback big who could one day dominate the modern game. And I was just talking about physicality, post at the rim, things of that nature, low post power. This is some of the big man passing you'll find from a center not named Jokic, and that's a real chance. Be a one-way player, and yet his offense outlook is so blindly bright, he still lands comfortably in the top 10. Even as a reliable 3-ball, the 21-year-old isn't afraid to fire. He just needs to be up in accuracy, and that might be curtains. And the Rockets should lean on him. You know what I'm saying? More on the offense that's heavy on the other guys you got around the wing, and the young guys you have. But this man right here could be, an engine to the way your team works every single night. So and I feel like his ceiling's
So Alperen Sengun, man, he been rising and getting better almost every game out. He got the back to the basket game that we thought was kind of dead in the league, but he's able to still bring it to you. He can a little mid range, he can shoot a little bit. I look forward to Ime teaching him how to defend and making him a complete player. I think he's going to be really good. He got and also he got a lot around him. They're all young as hell, but he got a lot around him now. So should be fun to watch this year.
He got a lot. He actually has not in terms of stardom, because you had Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, you know what I'm saying? But in terms of like what the Celtics had when they had all those picks in their mind and head, this is what Ime has at disposal now with guys that you actually know who they are.
You got Jabari Smith. They got Amon Thompson now. Yep. They got Jalen Green, Kevin Porter Smith. They just signed Van Vliet. This team actually got they got some shit for people.
Got some stuff going on, man. Which brings us to number 7, another promising guy from the Utah Jazz, and that's Walker Kessler. Rudy Gobert in Utah was outstanding. 3-time defensive player. But Utah may have found that player in the same trade that sent Gobert out to Salt Lake. He's much younger, and he's definitely going to be way better than Gobert. Probably not in the accolades, but, probably his overall game. Might not have the trio of defensive players he is, but don't rule it out. You know what I'm saying? He's best to Gobert in blocks per 36 minutes, 3.7, field goal percentage, 72 to 65.9, and shooting percentage from 51.5 for Gobert to 58.1. He may never get a ton of utility away from the basket, but he's a guy that's going to continue to keep working. The international games working fairly in the USA, and potentially all the players on the list with more offensive upside, but few project him to be as strong on the defensive end.
Walker Kessler Ranger.
I was thinking nice too.
He's nice, man. I like him. He got a lot of just a lot of young ability. I like the energy he plays with. I like the fact that he gets the putbacks. I just think he defends the rim. He gonna be good for them, especially because they got another. Who they got? Marketing. No 7-footer next to him, who really spreads the floor and gonna give him room to just defend. And I think they're gonna be. I like their team. They gotta add a piece or two, but I like their team. I like their bigs for sure.
Yes, sir. Number 6 on the list, another Houston Rocket, and that's Jabari Smith Jr. His NBA go-around was his first NBA go-around was tough and not in the ways that could easily be dismissed. Someone who's primarily skilled in shot making, who stands 6'10", as we do shockingly low conversion rates from the field, shot 40.8 and 30.7 from 3. Both can definitely be better accurate this year, and we hope that the season 1 does not make his career over. It doesn't make him a bust. You always can learn in year 2. That's the thing about it. You know what I'm saying? He might go through the growing pains, but new coaching, new situation. This is a new overall year, and the way they're sounding your name all over the television screen, can hype you up. He was also forced to settle for whatever scraps he could find in the young Rockets offense, and we know we got a lot of guys on that team. In the next year, a lot of those guys are probably going to be scrapped up. This team's going to be, positioned probably not to win, but positioned to look better because they won't have all these stranglers all in one hole. Young teams that get first-round picks or top 10 pick period are always crowded in a sense. You got to get them out. So for the Houston Rockets and the Magics and all them, you got to get these guys out immediately, man, and have your team have some type of success. But averaged 16.4 points in his 17 outings of his rookie season, and he went out and towards the Summer League Defenders this year, which is some people's climb up to a great successful year. So, guy just needs to improve on the shooting. Hopefully the Wolves will go away this year, and he'll be a vital piece to this team.
I think his number one problem is a problem that's going to remain, and that is touches. He's not going to be able to get a lot of touches on this roster. It's going to be tough. And here's the thing. Of the guys who get in touches ahead of him, they're all more polished offensively than he is already. So he's going to have to learn on the fly while not getting the maximum amount of touches. That's going to be tough. I think a plot. Yeah. I think a real good plot twist would be maybe we don't focus, even though you have all the potential in the world offensively, maybe we don't focus on that with Ime coming in. Maybe we focus on you becoming, because you're a great athlete, a great defender next to Sengren, which actually gives you way more value on this team, and then let the offense come to you. You already know that you're good at that. So maybe let's not focus on it and become a better
damn through the draft.
That's not bad. Right. I mean, that's not bad at all. And at that point, too, you become more valuable. So if the Rockets are too cluttered to have you, you potentially find your spot on a brand new roster, and kind of win-win for you, man. If you try to, like you said, develop yourself on the defensive side, be that guy, be that glue. He's going to have a scrap over there. You broke Van Fleet over there for a reason, but you need a guy of his length to be a defender. That's the scary part.
Because he could literally work hard as he wants offensively, and then get into the games and barely even get to show it sometimes. Like, that's not something. Whereas if he works hard on that defensive end, he'll show that every single night. They're gonna need it.
Definitely. Number 5 on the list. This guy right now is currently playing on the World Cup USA team, and that's Jaren Jackson Jr. We know the injuries. We know all the players played in his first preseason. We know all that. But year by year, we still talk about this guy. When is he going to show out? When is he going to be the man? Last year in the playoffs, he showed glimpses of it. He showed glimpses that he can stay healthy in these big situations. But overall, it's the health, all season. He might be the association's best shot blocker. Legally in block averages the last 2 seasons, say the Mike qualifier, though it wasn't needed. But teasing him to the paint will limit the many layers of the defensive game. He can clog the middle as well as anyone. He's the best when wreaking havoc all over the floor, switching into ball handlers, giving out the shooters, racking the transition. Also, on the pick and pop game, can float his offense over there. For me, it's just for him to just have that mentality every possession. But if you pick the interior anchor to build a long-term defense around, Jackson definitely will be one of the guys that you look for, man. In the season when Jaws not starting this season, this guy's definitely going to be looked upon on and put on 20 and 10 at least.
So, what I say about this man is kind of the flip side of what I said about Jabari. This man needs to. We already know he can defend, one of the best defenders in the league, clearly. But now, and we know he has offensive ability, we need him to be aggressive with that. We need him. We need him every game to go out there to kill the man in front of him offensively in whatever way he can. He has a jumper, he has a 3-point shot. He has some post moves. He can take you off the dribble. He has all of these things. He just needs to be aggressive with it. And he's going to get 25 games, I think. I think it's 25 games, right? 25 games where this team is going to be all his. So I look forward to that.
Yep.
Me too, man. We definitely look forward to all these guys.
Nasty Nate, welcome to the building, bro. Appreciate it.
Going on, Nate. And he is a triple-double waiting to happen, man. Looking to see, man, if I can snag him in basketball fantasy this year. Moving on, number 4. Cleveland Cavaliers. Is it Larry Nance? No, it's Evan Mobley. His first NBA seasons have been more encouraging than earth-shattering, but that's fine, man. Number 3 pick 2 years ago. 2 months removed from his 22nd birthday, still young, and still a lot of hype for him. Baby steps will be big enough this year, but the 7-footer has opted into long strides. He looks like the defensive answer to today's do-it-all defenses, but intimidating anchor with the fluidity and resolve and size perimeter plays on switches. Offensively, the projection is harder to calculate due to the fact that, just we talked about a few moments ago, you got a lot of guys on Cleveland that can score the rock. So they kind of lean on him to be a defensive guy. But, this is kind of a trending topic tonight. And you're going to chime in.
Yeah.
Work on something that you need to work on. That's the motto. Be in the gym more than 2 times a week. Work on your game.
Yeah. And again, I think similarly to with Jaren Jackson, it's a little in here. You gotta want to kill more. Now he is gonna be in he got a similar problem that like Jabari got, which is a loaded team around him, and the touches aren't coming to the level that he's used to or wants to. But he's got to figure that out. He's got to become more efficient and get his buckets in the opportunities he gets them. He just needs to be more aggressive. He disappears sometimes, but he's a great player. I would have flipped him and Jaren. I think Jaren's better than him.
Every man going down there with the Cleveland Cavaliers team, man. Definitely going to be interesting season for them as well. After a horrendous way to end a playoff run, for a team that, was just looking just to be among the great teams in the East, man. I think they can actually become, I'm going to say this right now, off season, and we're a while away from the season. Cleveland will be a top 3 team in the East. Maybe 2.
That's a bold proclamation.
A lot of guard play.
Number 3.
Also, Mobley might not be the best big on his team.
And that's the scary part. And that guy might be gone soon.
Yeah, it could be.
He was
Number 3.
How is he
this year as well.
All right, I call bullshit. This list is wild. This man hasn't played a fucking game in the NBA. Sorry, like
This is why, man. This is why he's number 3 on the list, because they're gonna keep him. The reason why he's here, I feel, is because he didn't play last year, and there was the yell and there was a hope about him, which is bad. He didn't play last year. Injury, the weight issues. You know what I'm saying? There's gonna be something for him to not. He's gonna have to keep up with that continuously in the league. He may not be like that. He may end up like Kevin Durant, get a little older, get a little belly. You know what I'm saying? And that's it. But he still can produce in the NBA, and
I'm not denying that. You got to show me, like, my man ain't playing no games, man. Like, I mean,
he got signs of bad wheels.
He got all the talent in the world. He can do almost everything that you need a center to do, pretty much. But he just hasn't played yet. So
I bet you they won't, Chook. I bet you they won't. You bet you Cleveland won't.
Yeah, that's what he's talking about.
Bet what? What's the 1 through 3? 1 through 3. Or you want me to just be top 3? 1 through 3.
Will they be the top 3? That's a fascinating pick. I don't think they will. I think they're going to be around 4 or 5.
I think they'd be top 3. What? And they'll probably go down the first
Boston
round.
and Philly.
So behind Boston and Philly, or Milwaukee? So who's out? Milwaukee or Philly? And then Miami.
Coming into the season, the way the season starts, I'm gonna say over Philly, but that could change depending on what happens in the James Harden saga or whatever the case is.
So they're gonna finish over Philly. They're gonna finish over Miami. All right, we'll see. I think he'll take your money if you make that bet.
Hey man, that's the point. That's the object. That's the point of the game. Take my money, man. Hey, I have more respect for you, man. You may get. I'm definitely gonna try to get my get back. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But hey, this guy was a number 2 pick last year. They have some promise in him. He's with an OKC team last year, made the play-in. They're gonna build on that success. They got a great stud of young roster. Let's see how he can fit into that. And the fact that he didn't play last year, he's gonna have to really try to fit in, and that may be the problem this season for him, is trying to fit in.
That my fault. That's the only benefit I give Chet in this conversation. He does not belong in the top 5 or even on this list right now, in my opinion. But the one benefit I give him is that they're not going to ask him to have any real responsibility or shoulder any kind of pressure because they already have a superstar on the team.
Mm-hmm.
They have another guy who is a rising star on that team, and then they have a few younger guys or also young guys who are also studs. And so he's not going to be asked to come in and be that guy. But don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yeah, somebody, hey, raw and authentic, Nate. I appreciate that, man. He could be in 2.0.
Don't do that. I mean, he could look. He get hurt again, and then I'm right there with you in terms of he's a bust. But
hold on, Chet's on this list, and number 2, they still see it in him.
Number 2, Anthony Davis. That'd be a
pretty stay slim because he looked a little slim the last time I seen him on the airway. And that's Zion Williamson.
What are we doing?
Mariah Mills, Steaks, Mariah Mills, the gym, getting in shape, not getting in shape. And Zion talked a lot this summer about this, being able to, talk about being in shape and, talking about the Wolves and not being in shape and how it's affected them. And at some point, it's probably he in terms of jokes about the weight because you're pitting on numbers. But eventually, when you're not out there, though you're still pitting on the numbers when you are playing, it doesn't mix for great success. The people paid to see you play, Zion, and we know when you're on the court, you got to stay active on the court. I can question all day how he's going to do it. I hope he does is what I'm going to say about it. Is that he can do that. This New Orleans Pelican team for 1 year out of the 6 years that they should have been good, 4, and make the Lakers pay one season for the trade, because right now you're disappointing the city. You're starting to disappoint yourself, hopefully, from what we heard this summer, and hopefully you get to it. You're in the media for the wrong reasons, bro. Supposed to be in there for doing what you was doing at Duke before the shoe exploded. Dominant.
Yeah, when people talk about the weight, I don't think people thought that it was going to hurt his production. They thought exactly what's happening. Can he stay healthy at that weight?
Yep.
And he has proven them right that he needs to cut back on the cheeseburgers and porn stars.
Leave the boudin alone.
Yeah, all that. Leave the booty, leave the booty and beignets alone, man. Get on the.
Speaking of booty, Zion has started a little mini trend. I mean, though it's happened all around the world with tons of NBA superstars, but something that we haven't really talked about, in quite some time. DeAndre Ayton, playing for the Bahamas this summer, was with a porn star the other day. He was playing with her hair, doing what he do. You know what I'm saying? And heard the lady was a porn star. So, you know what I'm saying? Hey, porn stars are floating around the NBA, and NBA and Pornhub may have a collaboration. Remember, they did try to buy. No, that was Bang Bros. Sorry, Bang Bros tried to buy sponsorship to the Miami arena. So.
They did. That was funny. They did.
Hey, we just seen track and field guys try to slide into the NBA.
Called him Lizzo. Hilarious.
And now the porn stars are trying to slide in more into the NBA mold.
It's not wrong. Like
they looking for no money. OnlyFans ain't working, man. So they're trying to go to these players again. You know what I'm saying? To these young players, these older porn stars with these young men. You know what I'm saying? Like,
easy game, low hanging fruit.
Easy game.
Man, Took was just hyped to talk about porn stars.
Nah, man.
He been trying to do that topic for all year.
Sound like a list.
List.
Check in with the chop up, man.
That's gonna be the late. Hey, that's chop up late night. We already talk about that. That's the late night chop up. We gotta do that one day.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, number one,
jazz.
Number one, and I mean, I guess the world's.
What are we talking about right now?
Victor Wembanyama from the San Antonio Spurs. Hey, man, they've been mentioning about him, man. He may be the next LeBron, so his ceiling projectively is gonna be not like LeBron's, but something of a Hall of Famer. They think it is. Hey, he's a rookie. Not gonna put that much pressure on him, but I am gonna be watching your ass, like I said, saying few months back. But in all, right now, brother, and the way the wind blows, you know.
Look,
I
end
hope,
of the
I hope
day.
you shine the brightest, man.
Yeah, me too. I hope him and Chet get it together. I hope Zion get it together too. I hope they all play. I'd rather see him play than not. I always say that. I'd rather you on the court or field than
You ready
off
to
it.
Ron Jeremy?
That's hilarious.
Go.
What I say about this is that I think we can officially declare that this list is based on projection and based on potential. It's not based on what's actually happening, because what's actually happening is two of these guys have never played a single minute of NBA basketball, and another guy has missed about 80% of his games. So, with that being said, yeah, I hope these guys all pan out. I think Victor has a chance to be a problem. He may not even be a big man, though. They might play that man at like a small forward if they want to. We'll see what happens, though. He can play power. Kenneth Lofton Jr. gives Wembanyama Holmgren that work. Well, he was doing that when they was doing the
Down to 19.
under 19 games.
Hold
but that,
on.
I mean, to be fair, he was just bullying him because he had so much weight on him. It was mean.
Yeah, man, they giving him that work. Shout out to Kenneth Lofton Jr., man. Shout out to him. Hopefully, you know, in the system this year with the Memphis Grizzlies, you know, put in that goddamn work.
No chance, Jake.
He won't get it.
Nah, I mean, he'll finish top 5, but I don't think he'll get it.
Man, listen, even if he does win MVP, even if he does win Rookie of the Year, he got kept back, man. So you know what I'm saying? We ain't counting that shit.
It's the Blake and the Simmons award, the way they win it, the way they won it,
yeah,
or at least we're in it.
Blake was in good fortune.
Yeah, Blake.
Oh, speaking of that, before we leave the show, I'm just gonna say this. You know, you don't have to say anything about it. You can make a facial expression if you want. But Ben Simmons said 2 things this week. He said, one, that if he was traded again, he would be traded back to Philly.
I saw that.
And he said that he is going to be a better suited player this year. So be on the lookout.
I mean, I believe the second part when I see it, but the first part is hilarious.
Yes.
I'll go back to Philly. Philly is like, what? We don't fucking want you. Are you stupid? Like, I would Philly ever. Yeah. I mean, man, he must be thinking that. I wonder if he said that thinking that they're going to trade Embiid, and he'd be like, I'll come back.
They're more going to need to sucker at one point.
As of right now, Chet Holmgren got the 3rd best odds to win Rookie of the Year.
And first is Wemby and Scoot. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yep.
Wemby and Scoot. Yeah, it makes sense because he was supposed to be the favorite the year before, and then he didn't play. So now but that's funny though. He's supposed to be a favorite, and then now the 2 guys who are best jumped him already. I think one of the Thompson brothers has a chance too, so we'll see.
Holmgren in Rookie of the Year is like failing to graduate 1st grade and then finish top of your class. Hey, they recertifying kids in the 1st grade, man. That's the way basketball work nowadays, man. The fellas, man. Number basketball show. As we dribble down the clock, we didn't have to hit a game winner because we won by 20. We good.
Always do.
Man. You know, always smooth, undefeated on these streets. You know, it's the slogan. And if you didn't know it was a slogan, use it. You know what I'm saying? Put it on your shirt, undefeated on these streets. And that's what us as a whole are trying to be, you know, undefeated on the streets. So shout outs for the night, fellas. Hump Day Wednesday.
Shout out to Jake, Paul, Jonathan, Bobby G, Chris, P. Diddy, Unc, and Nate. If I forgot anybody, as always, my apologies. Shout out to you 2 gentlemen holding it down, doing your damn thing on NBA and basketball in general like you always do. Get out here with that hell to the Redskins stuff. Y'all ain't doing nothing. Shout out
Say
to
it
you.
Say it with your chest.
With a hot trash.
I actually want
trash.
I want to actually throw back a shout out at Bobby G because if it is who I think it is, man, I think it's my boy Bobby Gremlin. You know, shout out to Southern Collectibles, man, my guy. You know, selling a lot of great memorabilia. So you know, great to see you. If that was you in there, you know, name
shout out to Bobby G.
You know, and if it was you, you know, shout out to you. If it wasn't, you know, still shout out to you, man, and everybody else that tuned in tonight because you guys what makes the show work. And you know, every night we look forward to seeing you guys' comments and seeing you guys chatting with us, man. And well, shout out to you guys, man.
Chris, it's the Mavs, bro. Pay attention. It's the Mavs. He all Dallas out.
All Dallas out, man.
It's the tropics.
Oh man, y'all were great, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to the brand. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate everybody who joined us. Tune in. I want to say Friday for another tap out show. We're gonna go over some things and the fight night card, and we'll find.
Oh yeah. There's something very interesting going around, and I hope you guys tap in on it. And
there's a few things that we got coming down the pipe, man. We know what we're doing. You know that. It's gonna be fun though.
And real quick, if you're in the Dallas area, they still got tickets available. Kevin Von Erich is at the Majestic Theater. It's hosted by Dale Hansen. The Von Erich movie is due to be released here soon, so they're promoting that, and he's showing you some behind-the-scenes stuff on World Class Championship Wrestling.
I say this jokingly, but also with like a heavy heart. Like, there's still Von Erichs alive, because that whole family, man, tragedy, man. After tragedy.
As far as the wrestlers, he's the last one.
That's so sad.
Now,
man. But, all right, well,
he's got I think he's got 2 twin sons that are wrestling right now, I think.
Hey, the twin gene, or that they look alike. That family's genes are strong. Man, got
Very
twins.
strong.
Like
Everybody look like pops.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. It's crazy.
And also, even though we're talking about basketball, man, shout out to the Nebraska volleyball team. They drew a crowd tonight of 92,000.
How in the
stadium.
Sam hell did they do that? That is impressive.
And they broke the women's sports attendance world record.
Hey, but guess what? After tonight, we'll be talking about they be throwing Iowa basketball over the news for selling out. But man.
It'll be like, well, we gotta watch WNBA players talk about their world champions. Like, shut your ass up.
And we appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all hang out with your boys. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share. None but love. Peace.
Spandex is powerful, Will.
Leggings are powerful.
Find this podcast and others on STWF TV, the Podcasting Network, wherever you get podcasts.